Air Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell cutting into coverage tonight due to this tornado warning that we do have issued for portions of the Kentuckiana viewing area. This was just issued by the National Weather Service. It's what you're seeing in the red polygon here. It does include areas like Caneyville, Litchfield, and Eastview heading into Hardin County. This is our first tornado warning of the night for the Kentuckiana viewing area. We have a line of severe thunderstorm warnings, and we will show you that in just a moment. But this is the most important warning and is what we are starting with. So this is until 10:45 Central Time, 11:45 Eastern Time. And once again, this includes Grayson County and also portions of southwestern Hardin County here. So I'm going to step off the screen so I can manipulate radar a little bit better. But areas that are included in this. So a severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado was located near Morgantown, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. So a very quick moving storm. And it does look like this could be around Litchfield by 10:10 Central Time. If it continues onward to E-Town, it would be 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you do see yourself included in this polygon here, we do want you to seek shelter. Head to the lowest level of your home, whether that's a basement or just the lowest level of your home, away from windows. Get into that safe place. We mentioned that there was an isolated tornado threat this evening with this squall line that's rolling through Kentuckiana, and it does look like we do have enough rotation for this particular storm to trigger a tornado warning. So I'm going to give you a bigger picture view of what we're looking at here. You can see rain is moving into the Louisville metro area. We have the main line that's behind that. That's what you're seeing from Bedford, Paoli, down to English, Tell City as well, Hardinsburg. We have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings. That's what you're seeing in the yellow here. But you'll notice, is this, guys, one big tornado warning that they have issued?
Yeah, it's a rather...
One large one.
Okay, so I'm joined alongside meteorologist Austin Evans and John Gordon, so you may hear them from time to time. But the area of rotation that we're seeing is right around Morgantown, and it's moving northeastward. So anytime we have a squall line like this, we are always looking for notches or nubs where the leading edge might be tapping into some kind of rotation. And even though we don't have a lot of fuel today, you will notice that this particular storm, we were watching it on our live stream. Looks like there's a lot of lightning with it. So it does have some fuel that it is tapping into. And John, do you have something?
Yeah, if you want to go to my computer, I can show you this right now.
If you all can bring up the ROI. Thank you. Okay,
so this has got a hook echo right now. The question is it getting down to the surface? This is coming in out of Butler County. The county seat is Morgantown. It's moving off the, I'll draw a point. We'll look at this all together. Here it is right there. This thing's moving off to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. And it's going to continue to head towards Caneyville and Litchfield. It's rotating there. It's got a little bit of low-level rotation, but definitely it's got a good signature. Unfortunately, a bad signature for a tornado in there moving off to the northeast. I don't see a hail threat, and it's got a lot of wind. Even if you don't get a tornado, winds will be at least 60 miles an hour in there. Just want to give you an update.
Yes, thank you, John. So we can bring it back to Max 1 and we can give you all a play-by-play of what we're seeing across the area. So once again, Litchfield, you do have some time to get into your safe place because, as we mentioned, the area of rotation that we're seeing here is about to move into Morgantown, it looks like. So this will be in Litchfield. I believe the warning said around 10:10 Central Time, 11:10 Eastern Time. So that's what we're looking at for Litchfield. If that storm continues northeastward, tracking very quickly, it could make it into the E-Town area around 11:30 if it maintains that rotation. It does look like something was just filled in.
Yeah, they just issued another warning, filling it in to now include portions of Warren County, now Brownsville, all the way down to near Russellville.
Okay. So that looks like that's Hart County right there, heading into Munfordville.
Yeah, that would be Hart County.
So that's really the Bowling Green metro area. So we'll focus a little bit more on the northern storm. Of course, if you have friends or family in Brownsville, in Munfordville, give them a heads up. But what we're looking at here is the storm that's right around Morgantown that will be heading into Grayson County and then continuing onward into Hardin County. So you might be in an area right now where you're not even hearing any wind or rain. They issued this downstream because of how progressive these storms are, how quickly they are moving. So we want everybody to get a good heads up. that particular storm has a bit of rotation on it. We also do have, as we mentioned, a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings along the line. So if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, that means 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. You know, we're seeing that from Salem, Bedford, you were under one not too long ago, Paoli, English, down to Hardinsburg, over to Jasper as well along the leading edge. And we've been watching for any kind of little notches of rotation. And it does look like that particular one was showing a bit of a signature that we have to be better safe than sorry in case it does briefly touch the ground there.
Yeah, so. for most of the evening as the storms moved into Kentucky and southern Illinois, for most of the time we've been fairly tornado warning free. I was discussing some earlier during our 6:30 stream of our newscast, but this is kind of the first one that's popped up close to us and now in portions of Kentuckiana. It's one of those things. Hopefully it won't be all that long lasting, but we got to talk about it because a tornado could happen.
All right, so let's go through the tornado warnings. Tornado warning number one, that's coming out of Butler County. That's Morgantown, just to the northwest of Morgantown. It's moving off to the northeast at 60 miles an hour. If you notice, it's like a double hook echo. It's not just one. There's two little areas. I'm going to stop this thing. There's the first one. It's between Rochester Ferry on the Green River and Morgantown. The second one is this area that's coming out of the Greenville, Central City area. This is all moving off to the northeast. Eventually, that'll be up by northwest of Bowling Green to Brownsville. That's moving off to the north. But let's start the north part and get the whole.
Let me interrupt you real quick. We got a new tornado warning for portions of Clark County and Washington County. If you want to bring it actually to this shot here, I have Max 3 behind me while Mallory is getting back to the wall. This is the latest tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service in Louisville. I'm going to put a query on it right now. So tornado warning until 11:45 Eastern time included for West Central Clark County, southeastern Orange County, and central Washington County in southern Indiana. Moving east at 50 miles per hour, located 7 miles northwest of English. So this includes as well Smedley, Shorts Corner, South Boston, Livonia, Chambersburg, Bacon, Rosebud, Harristown, Mahan Crossing, and New Philadelphia. Again, this is in southern Indiana. A tornado warning until 11:45.
That signature is legit. That is approaching Hardinsburg. Of all the towns in the warning you just heard from Austin, Hardinsburg, over towards New Pekin. It's be on the southern side of this. It's got a little nub and a little notch there.
Right.
That warning's moving off to the east, but you can definitely see the rotational couplet right there. Hardinsburg, New Pekin is the greatest threat.
Yeah, so I have this pulled up now on my computer. This is the newest tornado warning that we do have in place. And you're seeing, obviously, the red box. So that is the tornado warning that we were just talking about. That's south of Paoli. This one is in effect until 11:45 Eastern time. So as John mentioned, this is heading toward Hardinsburg. So it does look like, let's see.
Of all the cells, that's the one that looks the most threatening right now.
Yeah. So I'm going to put radar back on this. And yep, there it is.
Yep. Hardinsburg, Hardinsburg, Hardinsburg. This is your main threat. Hardinsburg to New Pekin is the greatest threat in that warning.
Get into your safe space now. As we said earlier, the lowest part of your dwelling, hopefully a basement, but if not, the most interior room you have, a closet, a bathroom. You want to put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible, and you want as little glass as possible in and around you.
I want to focus on the southern tornado warning, Mallory. The one Caneyville. Look at Caneyville. Caneyville has got a definite signature right there in town. That's moving towards Litchfield. If you're in Caneyville, get to your safe shelter right now. The rotation, if you is really the strongest right over Caneyville. It's almost got a little enclosure where there's two different cells surrounding it.
Right.
So
if you see
that
that
right
area,
there?
Yep. So that's heading right toward Litchfield. Litchfield, you need to be in your safe place. You're probably getting the alerts. You should be getting the alerts that there is a tornado warning in effect for your area. So that is headed your direction. And this is what we're looking at when we have these lines of storms, primarily straight line wind damage. But if these storms along the leading edge are able to tap into any kind of rotation, this is what we have to be on the lookout for. And so that's why the National Weather Service has issued this tornado warning for Grayson County into portions of southwestern Hardin County, if that continues on that same line there until 11:45. And I can put the radar in motion. You can tell it's moving pretty quickly right there. A lot of lightning, so tapping into some of that fuel, and it has the potential to rotate and drop a tornado. So that's why we do have that warning in place.
Let's go through the tornado warnings. Let's start to the north and go to the south. First one up is Indiana. The storm is west of Hardinsburg. It's this area right to the west of Hardinsburg, maybe by 7 miles or so. That's moving off to the northeast. Once again, it'll be more on the southern part of that warning. Hardinsburg, New Pekin is the greatest threat. Let's go to the south. All these are severes in between for 60-mile-an-hour winds. So if you're in Leavenworth, Leopold, Hardinsburg, Kentucky, all 60-mile-an-hour winds. Let's go to the next warning. Caneyville. Please get to your shelter. Litchfield, if you're on the BG Parkway, the Western Kentucky Parkway, that is a concern. Make sure if you don't need to drive between Litchfield and Caneyville, don't. Stop at your local fast food and take a quick break. Going further to the south, we are going to look at the other new tornado warning. That's much further south. That will get into Hart County eventually. That's going to go through Brownstown, Mammoth National Park, and it will get in there. Everything else is straight line winds. I still think most of this is straight line winds of 60 miles an hour, but there's 3 different areas. The most concerning one, I continue to look at that one that's west of Hardinsburg, Indiana. That storm is definitely showing some little rotation.
Yes, so our warnings for our particular viewing area, if you're seeing us on your TV, portions of Orange County into Washington County, Indiana, and then also for portions of Grayson County into southwestern Hardin County. Hart County, you all are kind of on the line there, but there is a tornado warning. That's that southern edge that we're looking at. So we're all included in a tornado watch until 3 a.m. I'm sure you saw the alerts from earlier today, and you've been seeing the crawl on the bottom of the screen. That is for the entire Kentuckiana viewing area until 3 o'clock this morning. But once we get the leading edge off to the east, that is when your tornado threat will drop. So if we can take max 1 once again, that's what I'm kind of looking at here. We have rain currently in the Louisville metro area, and the leading edge of the storms has been off to the west, really stretching from Paoli down to English and also down to areas like Tell City and off to the west of Hardinsburg, Litchfield, and then we're watching those few tornado warnings down to the south. So
Gust of 68 at the Butler County Mesonet. That's associated with that storm that's heading by Caneyville. So
okay,
it's
so
legit.
this one right here.
Yep. So
this is what John is talking about. 68-mile-per-hour wind gust was confirmed there, and you can see that rotation near Caneyville that's wanting to wrap itself up even a little bit more as it's going to pass right around Litchfield, potentially just north of there, it looks like.
We are very, very fortunate we are not warmer or more moisture because the velocities are not as strong as you see on the reflectivity. You probably saw that on there. They're not as strong. But that thing is a concerning cell. It's now northwest of Litchfield by about 4 or 5 miles.
Yes.
That storm is going to go just to the north side of the Western Kentucky Parkway. North side of Litchfield. If you hear our voice, please seek your safe shelter. The time is now.
Yes, so that's what I've zoomed in here right now. That red background that you're seeing, that's your tornado warning in place, and then you can tell the radar reflectivity on the left side of your screen. So that's what's headed in that direction and why you are hearing potentially tornado sirens or why your alerts went off. So we have this warning in place until 11:45 Eastern Time or 10:45 Central Time, heading on the north side of Litchfield. Probably will continue onward toward Eastview into southwestern Hardin County. And then that cell that's beneath it, the warning that's beneath it, I should say, actually, that could move into portions of Hart County. That's until 10:45 Central Time. That's just outside of our viewing area, but want to make sure folks are informed there. And then we still, yes, do have this one warning that's up in southern Indiana for Orange and Washington counties.
Yeah,
so this one goes until, I believe, also 11:45 Eastern time.
Yeah, so on the cell that Mallory's just talking about in southern Indiana, you can still see there's a little bit of rotation, green towards the radar, red away from the radar. It's just going to be on the northwest side of Hardensburg between Stampers Creek and Hardensburg, moving off to the northeast. That's the first one. We go down to the south, tornado warning number 2. That one really shows a strong reflectivity signature, something you would see in Oklahoma, but the velocities for the most part are maintaining themselves. That would be right up on Caneyville area, moving towards Litchfield. If you're in Litchfield, northwest side of that. The one to the south, to me, is weakening a tad. That's east of Lewisburg to the northwest of Bowling Green. I'm not saying not to do anything, but of the 3, that is definitely the weakest of the 3. The one to the west-northwest of Litchfield is definitely, Mallory, the one that really curly-Q there.
Yes, yeah. So once again, we have a few tornado warnings in place. The rest of us are looking at severe thunderstorm warnings right now due to wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. So you'll have a brief period of heavy rain, gusty winds. These storms, they're moving very quickly. So whether you're under a tornado warning or under a severe thunderstorm warning, the length of the most severe part of the storm should be pretty quickly. So once again, for anybody just hopping on, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell with WHAS 11 News. Joined alongside, you're hearing John Gordon and also meteorologist Austin Evans in the studio with me tonight. And you'll notice the leading edge of these storms that are moving from west to east. So we have a few tornado warnings in place. We've been watching that cell, that storm with the curly-Q that John was mentioning, the hook on it near Litchfield heading into southwestern Hardin County. That warning's in place until 10:45 Central Time. And then we also have this additional tornado warning that's just south of Paoli heading into Washington County. So from Orange to Washington County, that one is also in place until 11:45 Eastern Time. So if you are included in a tornado warning at any point tonight, we want to make sure you seek shelter, you head to your safe place until it passes. All of us included in a tornado warning until 3 o'clock in the morning, though we're expecting that to be chipped away once this leading edge moves out of your viewing area. So this will continue to march west to east, slightly northeastward in motion. And these storms are moving very quickly, 50, 60 plus miles per hour, their actual movement. So they're not sticking in one place all too long. And I'm going to move back over to just take a look at the radar here and give you all a better visual of what we're seeing rather than just the warning. So sometimes it helps to take the radar off so you get a better idea of what we're looking at, but we can take you one by one into these storms. So the northernmost one, once again, we are watching this storm. I believe it was north of Hardensburg with the little nub. It's always the nubs that we're looking at.
Let me just go through the radar real quick.
Where we have any kind of rotation, that will continue to march eastward into Washington County here, where we have that tornado warning until 11:45, and then down to the south. You can see what we're looking at here. So this has been the area that we've been watching near Caneyville, heading toward Litchfield for the southernmost warning here. So John, you can take it away if you'd like.
Let's just go through the top to the bottom. So if you're up in Lawrence, Jennings, and Jackson, you're going to have 50-mile-an-hour straight-line winds. The one tornado warning that's southeast of Paoli. There's a nub. There's that little green couplet. It's just northwest of Hardensburg. It's moving off to the east. The Weather Service just commented they've been watching that. At the moment, it's a tad weaker, just a tad. That's going to split between Salem and New Pekin. Now we go. Now, all these are severes in between, okay? So Louisville, you're going to be under severe. 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So I don't care which county.
Probably here in a few minutes.
That new Clark County warning, you want to mention that real quick?
Yeah, a severe thunderstorm warning got issued for Clark County. Just the western tip of Clark County and the county just immediately to the south, which would be Floyd County. So that's a new severe thunderstorm warning.
Right.
It's just to the south of that cell that is warned for a tornado warning. So we're keeping an eye on this general area in general.
And that the new severe, which I would have done the same thing. You always put it up against the Louisville Metro, and that's what they did. They went severe 60. That covers areas just to the west. That's Harrison, that's Lanesville, Corydon, down to Brandenburg. That covers Irvington. And then there's that tornado warning. I just want to look at that and turn it back to Mallory. That curlicue is almost out of their box. So they're watching that cell right there. It's to the northwest by about 7 miles. North of the Western Kentucky Parkway, and thank goodness the velocity of the winds do not show what the curlicue shows.
Right. So as John is mentioning, sometimes these radar images can look a little bit scarier than actually what they're seeing with the winds reaching the surface. So that's some good news. But this is what he's mentioning here. If you can see the rotation, looks like it's north of Litchfield now. That's what we're looking at. So they're going to have to make a decision if they want to issue anything to the northeast there.
And we'll be anticipating that, whether or not they make that decision, probably within in a matter of a few minutes from now. And it's a good thing this week we've been talking a whole lot about tornado sirens across Kentuckiana. Have a couple stories on it. Please don't rely on that. Do not rely on that. That's for outdoors. We want you to have a way to get notified via your phone or the television, if you still have power, or a weather radio.
Yeah, so as far as anticipation, they will be going severes all across southern Indiana. So I-65, that whole area, Henryville, Charlestown, down to Louisville, we'll be getting a severe. Trust me. Pleasure Ridge, Shively, Fairview, you're all going to get a severe. Bullitt County, you'll be getting a severe. Mount Washington, all along 65, Shepherdsville, Lebanon Junction, Radcliffe, Fort Knox, you'll be getting a severe. The one that we're really watching is on the edge of the tornado box, literally there, Mallory.
Yeah.
The curlicue that's northwest of Litchfield.
Yes. So waiting for confirmation. It looks like they went severe, as we just mentioned.
And that is a big one.
Yes.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
So they went severe farther northeast with this, if you all can see on my screen. So this was the storm that we were watching that was north of Litchfield, and this is going to continue to move northeastward and moving into Hardin County up near Radcliffe, Hodgenville included in this. It looks like it's in far southern Bullitt County as well until midnight. So at the very least, we're expecting wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. And this is moving northeast. The warning says it's moving northeast at 85 miles per hour, guys. That is a very quick moving storm.
Yep, sure is.
The gusts within the storm are around 60 miles per hour, but the storm itself is moving so quickly. So you can oftentimes get that when these big warnings in place, when storms are moving so quickly and they just need to warn a general area. That's what you're seeing with that extended severe thunderstorm warning in the gold that even heads into portions of Nelson County and also southern Bullitt County as well.
It's going to arrive fast. Storms don't have to go around the bends and stop at intersections. It's going to arrive on your doorstep pretty quickly. You're going to notice a very quick uptick in the wind, noise outside, the heavy rain as well.
So some good indications. Let's go start north to south.
Orange County was cut off from the...
Yeah, that one's definitely been weaker.
Yes.
So let's start north to south. All right, we got lots of severes. We're going to focus on the 3 tornado warnings. The first one, Indiana. It does not look like it did 10, 15 minutes ago. It has become more linear, green against red, just pushing from the west to the east. That looks like a wind threat to me. I'm not saying it's over, but right now the threat is much more minimal if you're in New Pekin, Salem, Livonia, Hardinsburg. All right, let's go southbound. The curlicue is right on the edge of the warning north of Litchfield, moving off to the northeast at 55, 60 miles an hour. The velocity has never really corresponded with that, which in other words, there's not the gate-to-gate red to green in there. And then the one to the south is more of a wind threat to me. That's the Brownsville one, even though they got a tornado warning out, that looks like some wind. You actually see the wind pushing towards, that's the giant Mammoth Cave National Park, and that will eventually get up into Hart County, our viewing area, Bonnieville, Munfordville, all the western part of Hart County there, Mallory.
Yep. So we've been watching 3 separate tornado warnings since we've hopped on air here, in addition to all of the severe thunderstorm warnings that were to be expected with wind gusts 60 plus miles per hour due to the leading edge of this storm system that's rolling through. We have a very potent cold front that's cutting through the region tonight. It's going to drop our temperatures from the 70s down to the 20s and 30s tomorrow. I mean, just take a big picture view of this. This storm system stretches from the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf Coast there. And on the backside, you're seeing snow. And so expect the return to winter tomorrow. But that gives you an idea of just how strong the forcing is with this system. Even though we're lacking certain ingredients, like we talk about CAPE, we just didn't have, a great amount of fuel to work with for the storms today. But when you have the wind energy that we're seeing and the forcing that we're seeing, we still have to watch for these areas of rotation in case these storms are able to drop a tornado. So big picture view in terms of the warnings. You'll notice Louisville, we've been talking about the arrival of these severe storms around 11:30, and obviously on our doorstep with warnings just off to our west and also off to our south due to the southernmost edge that's moving to the northeast there. But expect heavy rainfall, gusty winds, wind gusts around 60 miles per hour as these severe thunderstorms roll through here this evening.
Yeah, so let's go from north to south. In my opinion, the warning in southern Indiana is more straight line winds right now. I would believe they're going to issue a severe further east after that warning gets just a hair east-southeast of Salem. Let's go further to the south. Let's go to tornado warning number 2. That one is a bit of a problem for the Weather Service because the main area of concern is right on the edge of the warning. So they've got to do something with that. It is not showing it on the velocity. It is definitely showing us thunder. I would not want to drive under that or fly through that. That is north of Litchfield, north of the Parkway. It's almost on Hardin County. It's on the Hardin County, Grayson County line. It's where the 3 counties meet: Ohio, Grayson, and Hardin. Number 3 is a straight line wind threat. I think that threat is mainly 60-mile-an-hour winds. They did have a gust of 68 miles an hour at the Kentucky Mesonet in Morgantown.
I believe they just extended it.
Extended which one?
Yeah, they're extending the tornado warnings downstream, now including Radcliffe, Fort Knox, Eastview.
The Curlicue one, right?
Let's go ahead and consider E-Town in this as well. It's right on the edge. If you're in northern E-Town, you're under this tornado warning.
That's the Curlicue one.
Lebanon Junction, so they just extended these now until midnight.
It was outside the box, that one right there. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been watching the northern edge of that system, or of that particular storm. As John was mentioning earlier, it basically got out of the warning box, and so they had to make a decision of whether or not to extend that or make it a severe thunderstorm warning. They created that big wedge of the severe thunderstorm warning, and now we have an extended tornado warning until midnight. So this storm, it's north of Litchfield at this point. It's heading now more so off to the northeast around 50 miles per hour. Certain locations that are included, Lebanon Junction, does look like Radcliffe is in this, just south of Fort Knox. Eastview, if you hear yourself there. And as we mentioned, this looks like it'll be just on the edge of E-Town, so kind of the northern portion of E-Town there. So this is currently moving toward the northeast at 50 miles per hour, and they just issued this tornado warning until midnight.
Of all the warnings, the tornado warnings, that is the one to really absolutely pay attention to. That is the one that's gonna. Oh, it's just that Curlicue is moving to near Hudson, moving off to north. Rhineyville comes to mind, Mallory. All that area. It's definitely got a rotational area where it's kind of ingesting. It's almost like what we call a mesovortex, where wind's coming in and out one area. That's right over Hudson, and that's moving off to the northeast in Rhineyville. That's the one that got out of that warning on the north side of Litchfield. So the main threat is going to be up towards E-Town, Radcliffe, right in that area as that storm moves off to the northeast.
And we're starting to get into areas where it's a little more populated. We're approaching the I-65 corridor at this point. Of course, Hardin County, very large and very populated, especially in certain spots. So they're going to take that into consideration as well. The tornado, the area of concern, the area of circulation left the tornado warning box. It didn't really necessarily weaken, maybe a little bit, but not to the extent that they had to get rid of the warning in general. They had to issue a brand new one. They went ahead and issued it pretty far downstream and for a pretty long amount of time, again until midnight Eastern, 11 p.m. Central. So this is a rather long-winded warning, a longer one than you would expect for a QLCS type setup like that.
Yeah, so southern Indiana, that wind it's a wind threat. Even though there's a tornado warning, that's all wind threat. I don't think there's a tornado.
And you anticipate that being canceled?
I think they'll let it go, expire. That one will either go probably to a severe. Then we go down. We just talked about that second one. Once again, that's near Hudson, moving up there towards Rhineyville, Vine Grove, and those kind of places. The number 3 to me is once again a wind threat, and it's moving off to the northeast at Litchfield, again, south of there, Brownsville. It's all moving towards Hart County. That's a major wind threat, 60, 65 mile an hour winds right now. Definite tornado threat heading towards the Hardin County there, Mallory.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to kind of start from the top and give you all an overview of what we're looking at, because I'm sure you got the alerts earlier that we are under a tornado watch until 3 o'clock, all of the Kentuckiana viewing area. And what we're seeing here is a strong line of thunderstorms that's moving from west to east, slightly northeastward, due to the forcing of a very strong cold front. So as we mentioned, temperatures today, mid to upper 70s in the Louisville metro area. Tomorrow, most of the day will be in the 20s and 30s. So even though fuel was a bit lacking today, we have had enough forcing for severe thunderstorm warnings along much of this line, and also some embedded tornado warnings, where we're tapping into some of that rotation. So we are seeing some shower activity right around the Louisville metro area, but the leading edge of the severe winds, you're kind of seeing where that narrow band is, stretching from Seymour down to Salem, English down to Hardinsburg, and then we were actually getting some storms that were coming in from the southwest here. So John has been mentioning we were watching this tornado warning that was in portions of Orange County over to Washington County, and then also the one that was in Grayson County that was moving toward southwestern Hardin County, but moved out of the tornado warning box and is now nudging a bit farther to the north there. So we were mentioning areas that were included like Vine Grove as well. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer so we can see that. You'll notice that we also have our camera that's pointing toward downtown Louisville. Right now, Louisville, we are not included in any warnings.
Can I give you a report?
The storm that we're most concerned about? Sure.
Okay. So Emergency Management in Grayson County reports a tornado touchdown at 5800 block of Beaver Dam Road has been taken out of a barn. So roof of a barn. Well, there's damage at least.
Yeah, the roof of a barn appears to have been blown off.
5800 Beaver Dam Road in Grayson County.
All right, thank you for that. And this is the tornado warning that we're watching from that storm. So this is until midnight, and it does include areas like Radcliffe. This is just to the south of Fort Knox, to the north of E-Town as well. Lebanon Junction, you're included in this warning polygon here. Rhineyville, Vine Grove, we mentioned. Cecilia also included in that. So let me see where it is on the radar here once we zoom in. So we're looking at that little kink right there, it looks like. So this is, you'll notice, I'll draw a circle of what we're looking at. We're looking at this heading in the direction of areas like Rhineyville. I know that's the place that we keep pointing out, but in that general idea, in that general direction, that's where this is headed. Also toward Lebanon Junction if it holds together like this.
Now you're seeing rain out ahead of it, so that's going to make things more complicated for us getting storm reports and any sort of confirmation if anything had touched down. The storm now has a history of putting at least one tornado on the ground and causing damage. The problem is you probably won't be able to see that happen in the moment because there's rain out ahead of it, and then there's a lot of rain rain associated with it. So you're not going to be able to really see any sort of tornado that's trying to touch down until it's right on top of you. So don't be trying to go out and look for anything right now. There's too many hills and trees in the state of Kentucky to be trying to storm chase, but really it's about your safety. Go to your safe space right now if you're under that tornado warning polygon. The storm has caused damage.
So that storm moving, it's out east of Hudson. It's going to be moving along Highway 401 and Highway 86 towards Veertrees. That's going to head up towards Rhineyville, all along 920, 1357. Up there on 220, I mean to Rhineyville. Right now, that continues to show rotation. I've been talking about curlicue. It's basically wind coming from the backside, rotating, wrapping around the front side, and you get this inverted little S thing. Show the S picture there if you want, Mallory. That is definitely showing where the worst wind is. Vine Grove, Rhineyville, in that area, definitely under a tornado threat.
Yeah, and I put a tracker on some of these areas like Four Corners. That'll be on your doorstep in a couple of minutes. Vine Grove, 1141. Radcliffe, 1144 in that general area there. Lebanon Junction, still about a half hour away, but you're likely hearing the sirens there if you're close enough to hear a siren, or your alerts are going off because you are included in this tornado warning polygon until midnight Eastern
They're
time.
likely to drop the warning in southern Indiana, as we've been mentioning. Salem, even though you're going to get winds 50, 60 miles an hour, I don't believe there's a tornado threat there at all. If you go to the bottom one, the one that's going in towards Hart County, Brownsville, Mammoth Cave, I believe that is a wind threat as well, even though they have a tornado warning out. The main show is the one that's moving into Hardin County that's going to be affecting Vine Grove and Rhineyville and Radcliffe. That's a very populated area. This storm bears watching as it tracks off to the northeast at quite a good pace.
If you're in Shepherdsville, Mount Washington, Hillview, maybe even Fairdale, be paying attention to this storm. Maybe be making some preparations. Get the cat or dog carriers, the crates out, maybe the leashes. Be preparing your tornado safe space just in case. You're not under warning right now. Again, Mount Washington, Shepherdsville, Fairdale, Hillview. You're not under any sort of warning right now, but there is a tornado warned storm pretty much pointed in your direction. So be making those preparations now for when, if a tornado warning is issued, you can go straight into that safe space. You can bring us with you via the WHS-11 app on your phone or tablet, and we can continue to give you coverage while you take
So southern Indiana, let's go from there. Louisville, it's going to be here and on your doorsteps in between now and midnight. It's coming in fast. Charlestown, Floyd's Knob, Sellersburg, you're going to have straight line winds, 50, 60 miles an hour. They just put a new tour out. There we go. Yep, that's the same one. Okay, that's the one with the rotation that's moving up towards Radcliffe with the little S signature. It continues to wrap up, and it actually has a little bit of a velocity signature on that new scan there, Mallory.
Yeah.
You can see that little burst. Radcliffe. Vine Grove, Radcliffe. Get to your safe shelter now. This is the time, right now.
Yeah, so we're looking at all these curlicues where we're seeing rotation. Signs of rotation along the leading edge of the storm there. So in terms of the 3 tornado warnings that are in effect for southern portions of our viewing area, you're seeing that one that we're really focused on, which is right around, let's see, where is that heading toward? Radcliffe, Vine Grove.
It's right on top of Four Corners right
now. Right on top of Four Corners. As we mentioned, it was going to be on your doorstep in just a few minutes. So this is what we're looking at right here. Four Corners, south of Blue Spring, heading toward Rhineyville, Vine Grove, Longview, Radcliffe. We need all of you all to be in your safe place while we're dealing with this tornado warning in place.
Yeah, and Vine Grove, folks, it's very populated there. Please have a plan of action. We definitely starting to see more rotation on the velocity. We've been seeing a lot on the reflectivity for the last hour and a half, it seems like. Lebanon Junction, this includes you, Radcliffe, Fort Knox, at the Patton Museum. Right now, this area, I think the greatest threat right now of seeing a tornado is approaching Vine Grove and Radcliffe, right in that area right there, as it moves off to the northeast at about 55, 60 miles an hour. The Metro, they have not issued a severe yet, but it's coming. It's coming very, very soon as this storm moves off to the northeast.
Yeah, so let's take a big picture view of what we're looking at here. Sometimes, we're looking at so many things at once that it can get a little bit cluttered, but you'll notice these storms moving west to east. That is the direction here, and we're watching the leading edge for not only severe thunderstorm warnings, as we've been seeing with the leading gusts, 60 miles per hour, but also these embedded tornado warnings. Have they mentioned anything about dropping the Salem storm?
They've been talking. They said next scan or two. I think, as far as I'm concerned, it's almost dead.
Right. So we've been watching. Obviously, you probably got the alert if you live in Orange County, Washington County, for the tornado warning that included Salem. That's still included, but as John has been mentioning, we've been really watching these storms that are down in Hardin County. So zooming in to what we're looking at here with this current tornado warning that's in effect until midnight. This is for this curlicue that we keep talking about. That's your rotation.
It's hard to call it a hook echo because it's not hooking, and we don't want
air coming. You can draw it back. It comes from the back side. It wraps up and in and comes into this little cell. And that little cell where it's completely wrapped around, almost wrapped around, is that area where there's rotation. You see it on the velocity. The warning to the south is mainly straight lines, and I guess they've cut some of it. I think there's really, in my opinion, there's one main storm to watch, and that is the storm approaching Hardin County, Radcliffe, Vine Grove, Fort Knox, and all those other towns.
Yeah, so that's what you're seeing on your screen right there. This northern edge, because even though all these red boxes that we're seeing are tornado warnings, so you're probably getting the alerts, hearing the sirens, we're most concerned with that northernmost place. Obviously, better to stay safe rather than sorry. If you get a tornado warning, head to your safe place.
Yes.
That is what you do in this season of severe weather. Wait for that to pass. Salem, you're in the clear for the tornado warning.
They've gotten
Looks
rid
like
of it.
there's just a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, the one in the north's
place.
gone, like we thought.
So we were mentioning that we had this polygon here. I was waiting for that to get dropped. So Salem, you're in the clear. You're still dealing with probably 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, but it does look like that is just now a severe thunderstorm warning in place. So the one that we're watching, everybody that's included in this northernmost
That's the storm.
tornado warning.
Yeah.
This is the one that we're paying attention to. So Rhineyville, Vine Grove, Radcliffe, eventually Lebanon Junction as well within the next 20, 25 minutes or so. This storm is moving toward the northeast around 50, 55 miles per hour, I believe.
And this storm, now that we've gotten confirmation out of Grayson County, at least this storm or one close to it, caused some pretty significant damage to a barn in Grayson County, according to their emergency management. So this is a storm with a destructive history to it, which is why they've issued this tornado warning pretty far out for this type of setup. And I wouldn't be surprised if it got another one downstream. We have to wait for that. It's got to move a little bit through its current warning before we see that. But it's a real mess still to look at, still rotating though.
Yes. So get in your safe place, lowest level of your home, away from windows, and wait for this to pass. Once the leading edge of these storms do pass, your severe weather threat is over for the night, but we have to wait until this leading edge does pass here. So watching for any kind of notches and nubs that we typically see when we have these kind of squall line setups. It can be very difficult. They form very quickly, they move very quickly, and so that's why the National Weather Service has to be on it as they're analyzing radar and pushing these out farther in advance to give you an appropriate heads up.
In both ways, it's sort of a double-edged sword. These types of tornado situations don't typically last as long, aren't typically as powerful, but they're harder to find.
Yes.
The discrete ones, very easy to find on radar, but also tend to be the most dangerous.
So these are, you're looking for the notches, the nubs, any kind of areas of rotation. Once again, in terms of the severe thunderstorm watch, this is in place until 3 a.m. It'll be chipped away as time goes on tonight. Big picture view of the radar here. Anytime you're seeing you can tell where that thin band is of the oranges, reds. We had basically two lines kind of merge. So we had the main line that we've been watching since it was in Missouri tonight merge with the line where storms showed up kind of to the southwest and are merging together. And it's more so the southwest line that's giving us more of an issue. We had that that tornado warning, for Orange and Washington counties earlier, and now we're still watching this particular one That's moving into portions of Hardin County, and eventually it looks like Bullitt County.
Just saw a lot of lightning on the webcam there.
Yes, so we also have our webcam. That's for Louisville. Louisville, we're not currently under anything, but be on the heads up that we're expecting at the very least 60-mile-per-hour wind gust heading into our
So
area.
let's go north to south. So Lawrence, Jennings, Jackson's, you got your severes up there, the whole Seymour thing. Then we go further south. There's going to be a warning. I don't care if they don't have a warning yet or not. That's going to cover Scott, Clark, Floyd, Scott, Jefferson, all those areas. Louisville, down into the north part of Bullitt. Then there's this one tornado warning that, let me draw something. We can all see this. This area right in here is rotating, moving off to the northeast. That's the one that gets my attention. Radcliffe, definitely get to your safe shelter. The one to the south, I feel they're going to drop that warning and go severe thunder. In fact, they have a giant severe off to the east that covers almost to Bardstown. And the one further south, that thing's going to go. There ain't going to be no warning down there. That's dead. As far as I'm concerned, there's one main tornado warning. That's the one that's really watching right now.
Yeah, and that's the one that we're watching right around Rhineyville, Vine Grove, Radcliffe.
Yeah, that's the one, the storm of interest.
Yes, so this northernmost one, I know sometimes when I put the radar and the warning box on top of each other, it can be a lot of colors, but you're looking at this red box in place. Rhineyville, Vine Grove, Radcliffe over to Lebanon Junction, south of Fort Knox as well. So we're going to keep watching this with you until these warnings expire. Midnight.
That warning, is it midnight?
The northernmost one? Yes,
Okay.
midnight.
Yep. That's the main storm right now. And it's going to get out of the box before midnight. They're going to have to do something soon.
Right.
That won't even make it. It will make 10 minutes maybe.
Is it still moving at, what, 80 miles? Okay, 60
This
miles
says
an
60.
hour.
I think it's a 60. 55 to 60 seems legit. Now, if that maintains itself, let's anticipate. That means Shepherdsville, south side of Shepherdsville. That means Mount Washington, maybe the farthest southeast corner of Louisville, Simpsonville. By the way, Louisville, that line's going to be in Louisville in about 20 minutes, so right at midnight. Right at midnight, your line at the airport, if you're at the Louisville International Airport, you're going to get gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But that storm by Radcliffe, I think Mount Washington is something I would definitely be getting to my shelter. There is no warning yet, but that's the one area. And that will get into the edge between Jefferson and Spencer County, and then maybe into Shelby County if it continues right now. But the velocity signature, look to just a hair southwest of Radcliffe. You definitely got a 60, 70 mile an hour wind surge at least.
Yep, so that's what we're watching there. I'm going to put a track on this, actually. So this is moving
What do they got?
60 miles
55 to 60, somewhere in there.
in this general direction.
They're going to drop these warnings down here. They'll be dropped.
Right.
soon.
So if this continues onward, Shepherdsville would be 1156. Mount Washington, 1006. Looks like we do have a new warning.
Where are we going?
The southern edge, actually.
Which one?
Yeah, now including Bardstown, portions of northern Marion County, Hodgenville under this now.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this new warning that was just issued.
Loretto, just north of Raywick.
Yeah, Nelson County included in this. Portions still of Hardin County as well. Let's see what they put in the text. 8 miles west of E-Town, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Areas included Boundary Oak, Booker, Bellwood, Glendale, Nelsonville, Bourbon Springs, Priceville, and Bardstown, obviously.
Yeah, it's a big surge of wind. There's a couple little irregularities on the line, especially the one near Upton. I guess if I looked anywhere, I'd go between. That's on 65. That's the 81, 84 mile markers. Sonora, Upton. Go to the truck stop, have a cup of coffee, and wait till it passes. Elizabethtown, those are all good indications of 60, 65 mile an hour straight line winds. And the one area of rotation that kind of stands out is definitely between Sonora and Upton. See it right there? Yeah, kind of a little curly Q there. That's the one. Now, meanwhile, the one to the north, boy, it's on the edge of the box again. near Fort Knox. Between Fort Knox and Radcliffe, it's still inside the box. That's good. They fanned it out enough. But Shepherdsville, one of my places I love to go. Shepherdsville, please seek your shelter. Have a plan of action. Fort Knox to Shepherdsville, definitely a threat in that area.
It looks like they did go ahead and issue a severe thunderstorm warning. That's why all of our phones are going off.
Yeah, my phone's going off.
Severe thunderstorm warning with the tag
what
destructive.
A surprise.
80-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh, they went 80?
Yep.
Yeah, they must have got a report. I'm looking in the chat. Did they get? Yeah, they just went issuing destructive toward possible Jefferson. Yeah, okay.
All right, it's still a ways out. We don't have that for Louisville proper. We still have a ways away before we see that leading edge.
They're giving you a little heads on. It's approaching. I remember the western part of the county. It's approaching. Before you know it, it'll be in Valley Station, and the part of that Jefferson County sticks way out there by West Point. Yeah, they're seeing some winds in here. Let me look at the Tidware. Take a look.
Yeah, so you probably got it on your phone. We just got it on our phones. If you live within the yellow box that you're seeing of the Louisville metro area, Jefferson County, a severe thunderstorm warning. They went destructive on it, which just means that it can have more powerful than base severe thunderstorm warning gusts. And also, as we mentioned, we're watching those little nubs, those areas of rotation down to the south, where you're dealing with some wraparound.
On the terminal Doppler, that's the radar we use at the FAA radar in Mount Washington. It shows up better, actually. Between Brandenburg and Corydon, you're seeing 70-plus mile-an-hour winds in there, and that's why they went the 80 mile-per-hour winds. That's going to be in Pleasure. All those places you can track it in there, but right in yonder, there's your boat. Yep.
So what you're looking at here, this is velocity. It shows you not only wind speed, but also wind direction. We could use it for severe thunderstorm warnings where we're just expecting, at the very least, very strong winds. We can also use it for potential rotation anytime there's a tornado threat. So you look at greens and reds to be moving in different directions, and that can be a sign of rotation. But that's why they went ahead and issued that destructive tag, quote, on the severe thunderstorm warning that we're looking at. Also looks like there's a lot of velocity down Radcliffe. I believe that's with the tornado warned storm that we're seeing. So make sure you're in your safe place, guys.
Please be in your safe room if you're in Radcliffe. I love going to the Patton Museum. Definitely right on Fort Knox, the new scan came in. Right there, there she blows. Fort Knox, folks. I'm sure the sirens are blowing on Fort Knox right now. Right there, east, right on Fort Knox, maybe a hair on the east side. The thing's so big anyway. But Shepherdsville, you're next.
Yep.
So they're going to have to issue a warning for Shepherdsville, Mount Washington, and maybe a tornado warning. It could go in the farthest eastern part of Jefferson County. We'll see how they draw this, but be prepared. That means you in Spencer County. That means you north of Taylorsville for the next warning right here. They do have the tornado warning to the south. There's a bunch of little odd areas down by east of Sonora, east of 65, Hodgenville by the Lincoln Boyhood Home, and New Haven, all in there. Winds 70-mile-an-hour winds. There is a threat of an isolated tornado in there. Southern Indiana, it's all straight line winds. They're going to have to move that box too. You're not under a warning right now in Henryville. You need to be. Charlestown, Sellersburg, Lexington, Indiana, Goshen, Prospect. You're going to be under severe before you know it. In the next 5 minutes, I would assume they're going to put out a new severe thunderstorm warning for you.
And if y'all want to really quickly take Max 3, they have extended the tornado watch until 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time.
5Z? Or?
5 a.m. Eastern.
Probably because they just shifted everything east.
Watch, everything's moving east with the system, and they may be anticipating that the severe threat is possibly going to go on a little bit longer. Watch now also including, I can't remember if it was including Lexington and whatnot, but it is now, along with just our eastern, the counties that border the eastern edge of Kentuckiana. So the entirety of Kentuckiana, barring a few counties in portions of southern Indiana, that's Perry County, I think that's Jackson, that's Jackson, Bedford. Now not under the tornado watch. The leading edge has left you. So those areas, the severe threat's over, but we still have a pretty significant severe threat going forward. And as the line of storms continues to move through, hopefully it doesn't slow down, but it could. So we're going to continue to at least monitor the current storms going through. We could start to see counties get lobbed off this watch pretty quickly as the leading edge moves through. But for now, most of Kentuckiana under a tornado watch until 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time.
Yeah, if you're west of this red line, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
If we want to take up Max 1 again, I know we're calling a lot of different computers, so I appreciate our producers behind the scenes helping us out. Once we do get this leading edge, this line out of here, once you're out of there, you know, you are out of the severe threat. So right now that's approaching I-65, really both in Indiana and in Kentucky. Once that passes you, if you're on the backside of it, you're done with the severe weather threat for the night, and you can go to bed. But for those of you all who are just now joining us, looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning. They're starting to fill in the gaps here.
So if you're in English, you're in Paoli, you're in Tell City, you're in Jasper, you're in Patoka Lake, it's over. Go to bed.
You can go to bed.
It's over. Over.
But let's focus back in on these tornado warnings. You probably heard the sirens go off. We've been talking about these same tornado warnings that are in effect until midnight. Now, something else that can be noted is if you are in Vine Grove, Rhineyville, the leading edge of this is now past you. So it's heading toward Lebanon Junction.
It might not sound like it,
right,
but it has.
Yeah, in terms of the wind and tornado threat.
Yeah.
Now, Shepherdsville, you want to be on the lookout here. If this continues onward, Mount Washington, that particular area. And we have this other tornado warning in place, this bigger box on the southern edge that includes Hodgenville, New Haven, Loretto, up to most of Nelson County, and including Bardstown there and Bloomfield as well. But have you seen any additional signs down in that southern edge?
Yeah, let's go to that. Let's take a look at that again. So the main threat is just a little bit northeast of Fort Knox. So I'm trying to get a little town. It's between Shepherdsville. Fort Knox is so large, it's probably on the installation. Shepherdsville, there's definitely an indication where there's rotation right on the leading edge of the line. Right on the leading edge of the line, about, I would say, 5 miles from the actual post, the commissary PX. Shepherdsville, you're under the threat. The warning to the south, yes, there's a tornado warning. It looks like straight line winds of 70-mile-an-hour winds to me. And they just issued that new severe that you heard from Mallory. Southern Indiana, I don't care where you are. Anywhere 65 eastbound, you're going to be under a warning as this moves off to the east. That also means you in Shelby County, Simpsonville. If you're in Spencer County, you're going to be under severe as this thing moves off to the east. But once this line, which lasts about 6 minutes, 7 minutes, it's over.
I mean, we've been talking about how quickly the system's rolling through here. A lot of the warnings have been movement at 50, 60 plus miles per hour. You know, you're getting close to interstate speeds. So that's the good news, bad news about these kind of tornado warnings is they're quick. The National Weather Service has to make a decision of whether or not they're seeing any kind of rotation and issue these downstream. But whatever you're seeing, whether it be very strong winds or the potential for rotation, the good news is it should be up and over you quite quickly.
Shepherdsville, please seek your shelter. Seek your shelter if you're in Shepherdsville.
While we're approaching a bit of a reset, was told that we're starting to see numbers climb on the outage map for LG&E, and if you could take that full so I can just go look at it. I want to look at some of the numbers, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. We have some very strong wind moving in, now up to 2,738 power outages, customers without power, I should say, in the Louisville metro area. The leading edge of the storm hasn't quite hit the Louisville metro yet, but it is about to within probably the next It just updated.
It's on our doorstep.
Within probably the next 10 minutes, it's going to be in the Louisville Metro, and it's going to start getting really loud really quickly.
Okay, so let's go to the southern tornado warning briefly. Hodgenville, LaRue County. LaRue County, there's rotation. It's right on top. Abraham Lincoln Square there in Hodgenville. There's an area that definitely watches little things. So if you're in Hodgenville on 210, going over towards New Haven and Loretto, there's an area there. You need to seek your shake shelter if you're between Hodgenville and New Haven. Let's go to the north one. The north one, the area, and it's almost out of the box. They've got to do something, and I know how it is. It's amazing how quick it gets out of your box, your tornado warning. That would be just to the west of Shepherdsville. That's moving off to the east. I don't know what they're going to do. I can't read it because it's getting so close to the radar, and that's going to be heading off to Mount Washington. No matter what, 70-mile-an-hour winds are on the table. North, I don't see a tornado threat at all in southern Indiana, and they're just going to extend these severes. Eventually, they'll get up into your area, Scott, Jefferson, over to Oldham, Trimble, Henry, Shelby, Spencer. And they've got to make a decision. Like, that thing is almost out of the box. And then let me check the chat. They did not update it at all. So they're like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, and you'll notice where the warnings are currently kind of straddling both sides of 65.
Yeah.
If you're west of those boxes, you're good.
They're busy. They got to clear the counties.
If you're east, there's still more to come.
There is no threat, zero threat if you're west of this red line. It's over. So Hardensburg, Leopold, Leavenworth, English, Birdseye, Paoli, Salem, it's over.
Yeah. So we're always looking for that leading edge that can bring damaging wind gusts, our primary threat today. But as we mentioned time and time again, we get these kind of squall line setups where we can get embedded notches of rotation. And that's exactly what we're seeing tonight with these tornado warnings that have been going off. So
if you noticed in all the days leading up to this, and we were anticipating this severe threat for probably a week ahead of it, we were never saying that there was no tornado threat. We were saying it was low end. We were saying it was isolated. And this is still that. It's just the situation that we've been dealt.
Trying to get some reports here. The one that does stand out to me, there's definitely something. There's a circulation just on the northeast side of Hodgenville, right on the northeast side of Hodgenville. That's moving off towards New Haven. Please seek your safe shelter if you're between New Haven and Hodgenville. The one on the north side, it's almost out of their box. So I don't know what they're doing here. My sense is they're going to continue the severe. We'll see. Momentarily, they've got to make a decision.
And they had issued a downstream severe.
They've already got the severe.
A few minutes ago.
So they got to decide what to do on that. North side's all straight line winds, 60-mile-an-hour winds. You're in Austin. You're on I-65 going down to Memphis. Charlestown, down there towards the river. That's all going to be straight line winds in there. I'll be curious to see what Bowman Field carries and SDF carries as this moves into the city. We still got that destructive warning for those real strong winds, Mallory.
Yeah, so this is now just moving into the Louisville metro area. The severe thunderstorm warning that likely triggered the wireless emergency alert on your phone because it had the destructive tag on it, which means you can have wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour. That's why they issue that, because it's a considerable threat. Even though it's not a tornado warning, 80-mile-per-hour winds can do as much damage as a tornado.
The most storm damage a dwelling that I lived in ever took in my life was from a destructive tag, severe thunderstorm.
Okay, we got some reports here. So a bunch of trees down in Kentucky 86 in Hardin County. Let's see, Grayson County, 9 trees down, 3 power lines down. A couple of power lines down on fire, 4,300 people without power in Grayson County. They're still surveying the other fire chiefs. So typical straight line winds that you would get with a line of this magnitude so far.
All right. And typically, a lot of times when we have these nighttime events, we get more damage reports in the next day.
Imagine that.
We want folks at home to stay inside, stay in your safe place. Don't try to go outside and see the storms or see the damage until the threat does pass and things are safe to do so.
It's not necessarily the wind, it's what the wind carries.
They've let that one's going to go.
Oh, we got video. Where's this video out of?
This is Jasper from earlier
Okay.
today.
So that warning that we've been very concerned about, the northern tornado warning, it's almost out of the box. So they have not indicated what they're going to do at the Weather Service. And I'm just saying, we got a roof reported off a house in Pierce Mill Road area in Hardin County. So there is a roof out. And I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with that northern warning. The one on the southern warning, I'll hit that really quick here again. It's accelerating. It's definitely got some strong winds. There is a very isolated tornado threat there between Hodgenville and New Haven.
So this is for the warning that you're seeing there on the bottom of your screen until 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. This northern one, we mentioned that storm is basically out of there, and honestly, we're almost to midnight anyway. So we'll have to see if they continue to issue that storm downstream for the rest of Bullitt County. That's moving towards Shepherdsville. At the very least, we have strong winds that are moving through much of the area along the leading edge of this storm, as we've been mentioning, kind of hugging the I-65 corridor. The farther north that you go, the more northeast that's heading. So this is currently northeast of Indianapolis. But
Yeah, and the new scan, boy, the winds showed up there. So that is interesting. So now here's a indication of some really strong winds.
They just issued a downstream severe thunderstorm warning on the north.
Help me out here. East of
Hillview?
Lebanon Junction down to New Haven. That is a good indication, or a bad indication, as I should say. Look at these wind channels. Oh, yeah, right there. Look at these wind channels. Can you go to my, you got my screen up? Good. Right there.
the bright reds or pinks that
Those
you're seeing.
pinks on velocity, not good. West Point, that's going to go to Hillview, Hebron Estates, Shepherdsville. This is a really strong indication of very strong winds. Lebanon Junction, New Haven, West Point, very south part of Louisville down there, Okolona southbound, 70, 80 mile an hour winds. Actually, you can see another surge here up there by New Albany in the northwest side of Louisville. If you're up there along I-64, very strong wind indications right now. The power outage map will be going up.
Yes. So anytime you're seeing these bright pinks right there, as you mentioned, New Albany, Portland, also pretty much right on the radar, though. These are all very strong wind gusts. So even if you're not under a tornado warning and you're, quote, only under a severe thunderstorm, yes, we want you to take these seriously, because very strong winds can lead to just as bad of damage as a low-wind tornado threat. So make sure you are inside, you're away from windows, you're allowing the leading edge of this system to pass you, and then once it does, you're in the clear. We're looking at just lingering rain on the backside. So if you're in Salem, Palmyra, Corydon, Brandenburg, Litchfield, Hardinsburg, English, Paoli, Bedford, you can go to bed. Those of us that are right around the I-65 corridor in areas east, still watching these leading edge of the storm system roll through here, we still have to watch it for a little bit longer for severe wind gusts and the potential for any kind of rotation.
And they're going to have to move that severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, I don't care if they don't have one or not. If you're in Linden, if you're in Goshen, if you're in Prospect, if you're in Crestwood, you're in Buckner, you're in Pewee Valley, we're looking at very strong winds accelerating. Right now, it looks like all across even though we have one tornado warning, I think the entire area is a straight line wind threat right now. And the wind is the main show. Folks, that is not pleasant to be on I-65 by Lebanon Junction right now. We're looking at 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. We're going to have a lot of trees, power lines down. As this thing's plowing eastbound towards Mount Washington, Taylorsville, Bloomfield. It's heading to you in Shelbyville. Very, very strong winds. Look at those channels, those wind channels on northern side of Bullitt County there.
Yeah, so what you're looking at here, this is once again, the velocity on the radar, velocity, wind speed, and direction. And all you need to know is when you're seeing the brighter colors, the pink on this, that's what we're talking about in terms of those strong wind gusts. So we've been mentioning this threat this week with damaging winds being the primary threat, but we've been under that enhanced risk. So a higher threat and a higher range of wind gusts.
Yeah, I'll be surprised they issue any more tornado warnings. I think they're going to go severes all the way over east. This may be the last one that's going. That's all linear right now. There's no rotational couplet on that line, but boy, is there wind.
Yeah. So if you're just in the Louisville metro area, you're waking up, you're hearing the wind. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell alongside meteorologist Austin Evans and John Gordon here.
If you want to take that camera full, you can see how much it's moving around.
Yeah, you're seeing it above our heads right here.
Yeah, we got some very strong winds in the metro right now. Let's look at this, see if we can get the airport, Austin. Can you try to get the OBS out of the airport?
Yeah.
And Bowman. There are very, very strong winds. Folks, if you're in the Louisville metro, you're in Fairdale, you're in Valley Station, you're in Okolona, Fern Creek, Highview, you're going to be getting winds imminently. 70+ mile per hour winds, 80 mile an hour winds, very strong winds. Also, it shows up in southern Indiana. Clarksville, Clarksville, Oak Park, Sellersburg, New Albany, it's pushing through right this moment, and it won't last long. This is in and out.
Yeah, so that's the good news. If the wind is howling, still a good idea to get in your safe place if you're not under a tornado warning, because as we mentioned, these kind of winds can do just as much damage as a low-wind tornado. And I'm sure it sounds quite scary as well if you're dealing with 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts. So please be safe. Please make sure you're still indoors and in your safe place until you can really even just see it on the radar reflectivity. The angrier looking parts of this storm system, the reds that are kind of trying to bow and move. And once that's clear, you're in the clear.
Look at those cameras.
Yeah, so that is our Jeffersonville camera, I believe. It's hard to tell. That typically overlooks downtown Louisville and the 2nd Street Bridge. There are folks right now on the 2nd Street Bridge. That, I'm sure, is scary to drive under with the kind of torrential rainfall and the very gusty winds that are rolling through here.
So right at midnight, it looks like we got, or at least the TAF is putting a 45-knot wind gust.
We need the winds. I'm looking at Clark County Airport, what they got.
I'm on Bowman Field. I'm on the same website, but I have no idea how to read it.
So these severe thunderstorm warnings, I'll take you the big picture view here. So what we're looking at here, obviously a severe thunderstorm warning for the Louisville metro area that you're seeing anytime you have the yellows or golds. This is now until 12:15. Looks like it has 70 mile per hour wind gusts now on it for portions of central Jefferson, northwestern Bullitt, north central Hardin counties. And then this one tornado warning that we've been looking at, it's a big polygon. Obviously, they've chopped off the western edge of it. So now it basically looks like a Nelson County storm. This one they still have in place until 12:30. So let's take a look at the radar and see if there's any kind of...
It's right on top of SDF. We should get a wind very soon, very soon. They gusted 36 just before the line from the south, but they'll be getting a west wind very soon. It will be strong.
Yeah, so the one tornado warning we still have in place, New Haven, Bardstown, Loretto. But as John mentioned, this is really becoming a linear wind event. Doesn't mean that it can't do damage. We're still expecting power outages. We're still expecting tree damage, especially after things were so windy. LG&E is reporting now more than 1,000 customers without power.
Power flashes from downtown Camera in Louisville. Power flashes from our wind on Hazmat Cam. 64 mile per hour wind at downtown at MetroSafe. 70 mile an hour wind. Gust downfall at 4th and Ali. Just reported 71 mile an hour winds in downtown Louisville. Power outs in Glendale, power's out in Upton. We have a report of a roof blown off a house on the Hardin Breckenridge Grayson line. That was the one with the tornado warning. Everyone has reported house okay. Very strong winds. Folks, if you're in Louisville, if you're in the metro, we are expecting 70 mile an hour winds all through the county. Newburgh, J-Town, Middletown, Anchorage, St. Matthews. Anywhere in the county, and they're going to keep moving this east, even if you're not under warning, which they need to move that warning further up there towards Newcastle and Oldham County, that little area that's not covered. You are going to be under, assume you're under a warning right now.
Right. So this is all marching. Oh, we have a new tornado warning.
Oh, they did go tour on
that one.
That's cell out of Shepherdsville.
So this is the same cell that we were watching near Fort Knox.
Spun back up.
So Mount Washington, Washington, Simpsonville, Shelbyville, Christiansburg, just north of Taylorsville.
What'd they put in the warning?
Let's take a look at it.
So
this one was just issued. Bear with us just a moment.
Yeah, it's this one right here.
A severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado 7 miles east of Pioneer Village, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's that one right there.
This will be near Shelbyville by 12:20. Other areas included Smithville.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the radar here.
Yeah, that's the one that it actually looks like it's more on the east side of Shelbyville when it comes up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that little nub right there. Yep.
This guy.
Yep.
So this was the same storm that we were watching near Fort Knox. Yes. They didn't decide to extend the warning. We left it with just a severe thunderstorm warning, and now we're watching it south of Mount Washington for the potential for rotation. I will say,
look at the wind in this area.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I mean,
that's 80-mile-an-hour winds just on the south side of Mount Washington right now.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much, and I'm not seeing a great rotational signature, but I am seeing the pushing wind speeds that are brightening up near Mount Washington.
Winds are definitely getting your attention. Okay, so let's go north to south. We've got giant severes that cover on the central Indiana. We go down, we got a severe Charlestown, down to Utica on the East End Bridge, Sellersburg, New Albany, Louisville's under the warning. We'll get to the tornado warning right now as that area pushes off to the north and northeast. There's a little nub right in there that they're watching. They have to watch as that goes from New Albany, Mount Washington over on the south side of Shelbyville. Then we have that other tornado warning that's all along that line, but that is really linear. There looks very west to east to me. I mean, if anything, there's a little area just to watch on the north side of Bardstown, right in here. See that on the radar right here on the north side of Nelson, that one right there. Yep, you got that one? You got it?
So what John's talking about is this area right here between Bardstown and Bourbon Springs.
And then we go to the north. I see what they're looking at. They're looking at this signature right here. It's like two signatures right in there, right, that one and that one.
Okay, so two little areas.
Yeah, two little areas, but most of it is very strong straight line winds, very powerful. That looks 70, 80-mile winds. There's power outage map's going to go nuts.
Right.
I was told a few minutes ago that the power outage map is starting to light up.
I'm sure it is.
And we're getting told that there are some sirens going off in Jefferson County because of the being clipped by this tornado warning that's down near Mount Washington.
Yeah, that's right.
5,068 customers without power, according to that. So that's up about 3,000 from when we last checked. And again, a reminder, don't rely on tornado sirens for your tornado warning system.
Yeah, the tornado warning for the Louisville Metro is the far southeastern county. Like, what is that area down there?
Route Fairmont.
By Turkey Run Park.
Fairmount, my bad.
Way in the corner, way southeast. Metro, right in the downtown, not a threat.
You'll see how I have it on the map here. So yellow, severe thunderstorm warning, probably still howling winds, heavy rainfall, frequent lightning.
We can see it on that camera right there.
Yes, and then the southeastern edge of that is where your tornado warning is that you're seeing right there in the red.
Yeah.
So that continues onward to kind of the Shelbyville area.
And good news for folks in from Fort Knox west. It's over. It's all over.
And they've removed a couple of counties from the tornado watch area. Jackson County got removed, but they're focusing on the stuff that's happening right now rather than removing counties from a watch. But yeah, if you're on the western side of the leading edge, you're in the clear for the night and you can go get some nice rain sleep.
Did he mention why they issued this?
Yeah, really west of I-65.
Yeah.
So I've circled that area here. Anytime we have a major severe thunderstorm threat or tornado threat along a line segment, we're paying attention to the leading edge. So as we mentioned, once that leading edge goes through your area, if you're west of that, you are in the clear, you're going to be dealing with some showers, some gusty winds, dropping temperatures as well, but the tornado threat, the severe threat, has ended for you. So if you are under a tornado warning, this is when we say head into your safe place, make sure you're in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, and wait it out until this storm has passed you by. So we still have this particular box in effect. This goes from Mount Washington up to Shelbyville there until 12:30. If you're hearing the sirens in Louisville, this is really only for the far southeastern edge of the county, of Jefferson County. Most of Jefferson County included in a severe thunderstorm warning. So be aware of that. Otherwise, as
is
this
still tagged destructive? The
severe, they knocked it back down to 70 miles per hour.
So what I want to really point out is on this line, so if you go from J-Town all the way down just west of Taylorsville, that's 70 mile an hour winds. Those pinks are 70 every time. Pink is not good on radar. It always shows very strong velocities, very strong wind. You just got those reports in downtown. That is 70 mile an hour winds. I know they have a tornado warning out. To me, everything looks west to east. It looks very straight, linear right now. I know what they're watching. I still think the primary threat is very strong, damaging winds, 70 mile an hour winds, all from J-Town down to, Bardstown, east of Bardstown. That is the real show right here. That line, it only lasts a few minutes and it's done.
It's racing east. We keep getting reports from some of our managers and producers that sirens are going off around different parts of Louisville. I'm not sure if they're just warning for the 70 mile per hour wind gusts.
Any part of the county goes off, a lot of them set them off.
Yeah.
It depends on the policy.
So the tornado warning is for the far southeastern edge, but as we mentioned, we're talking 70 mile per hour wind gusts, even with the only severe thunderstorm warnings. I know people tend to handle those differently, but these are still destructive winds that are heading through the Louisville metro area at this time.
We still recommend you being in an interior room, even if you're not in a
70 mile an hour winds are not good.
In an interior room away from windows, because again, it's not the wind that's the dangerous part. It's what the wind can carry and what the wind can break. So I wouldn't be near any windows, any doors right now if you're under if you're under the severe thunderstorm warnings. Obviously, if you're under a tornado warning, you need to get to your safe space, the most interior room, preferably a basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take you all through this radar for just a moment, talk about what we have in place. Obviously, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in place from Madison, Bedford, LaGrange.
The giant severe. I was just going to say they finally issued up in here.
Yeah, this giant one that you're seeing right here until 1 a.m. For 60 mile per hour wind gusts. In the Louisville metro area, we were talking about 70 mile per hour wind gust. So expect some very damaging winds. Another severe thunderstorm warning downstream.
Huge one way down to the south, even further south. Look at this thing.
I mean, this is what we get along kind of these leading edges. Yeah. And part of the reason is because these storms are just moving so quickly. Yeah. So they just have to warn it out ahead of time for a big chunk.
Very strong straight line winds all along this line.
Yep. So in terms of the tornado warning, this is now past Mount Washington. Looking at these really notches, I should say. We can actually hear the wind here in downtown and some of that rain here. So
watch that power outage map. It's just going to go nuts.
Yeah, it's going to continue to increase. So Shelbyville, you're under this tornado warning until 12:30, I believe. Simpsonville as well until 12:30. Looks like it's just to the north of Taylorsville.
Yeah, I'm still watching it. I'm not diminishing it. I plan for 70 mile an hour winds and perhaps an isolated tornado. I don't see the strong threat. I do see, when you see the velocity really tight, incredibly next to nothing. Look at that new severe they just put out. I was just about to say, they got to go severe way east, and they did, Mallory. It's almost to Lexington. This is so strong and so tight against there. That's wind pushing incredibly fast in from the west-southwest to the north-northeast. This is a wind threat, a very strong wind threat. This is 70, perhaps 75, 80 mile an hour winds. That's what this is. I know they have a tornado warning out. Well, right now, the main threat is wind.
All right, thank you. Yes, so let's talk about who's in the clear right now, because that's just as important, right? So if you are west of this line, so I'd say west of 65 in general, Shively, Valley Station, New Albany, Sellersburg, Henryville, all the way down to E-Town, you're good. Litchfield, Hardinsburg, Brandenburg, English, Jasper, Paoli. you're in the clear. You're dealing with some lingering showers. It's still going to be gusty into tomorrow. Temperatures are plummeting behind this cold front, but the severe threat, it is racing so quickly to the east.
I want to look at temperature.
73-mile-per-hour wind in Mount Washington. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of 70 to 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
It's a wind event.
With this event. So whether you're seeing a tornado warning right now or wind due to severe thunderstorm warning in place, we're still expecting some damage across the area. Power outages, tree damage, potentially roof damage, unfortunately, depending on where you are.
I've got the temperatures pulled up. We're already dropping like a stone in Jasper, down to 45 degrees already. 54 in Palmyra, 65 here in Louisville, and I bet that's about to be about 10 degrees cooler. 56 in Bardstown, 55 in E-Town, but still up near 70 in Campbellsville right now. Lebanon, 68 degrees. Shelbyville, 68 degrees, but that's going to change imminently as well.
So you'll notice how quickly these, even if you're just looking at the colors, how quickly these polygons are racing east, northeastward. That's how fast these storms are moving. So not only are the winds within the storms moving quickly, the actual movement of the storms 60 miles per hour.
That tornado warning on the south side, that's the Bardstown warning. I believe that will be gone in the next 3 minutes. That will be out of here, the little odd, narrow one. They
haven't extended it downstream, which tells me that.
I don't think they're going to do it. They probably put the severe out. I don't think they'll put a tor out. The north one, they need to trim a little bit on the backside, keep the severe up. That's still 70-mile-an-hour winds. And notice it's a rear inflow jet. You're getting a wide area of wind pushing into now going to Spencer County. That will go into Shelby County. Shelby County, I-64, you're going to have winds 70-mile-an-hours on there. It's not going to be pretty. Especially in that construction zone, which I went through yesterday.
Yeah.
So not pretty. Look at that wide area, Mallory. Showing that.
Yeah. Do you all see the pinks?
Pink. Pink looks good on many people, not me. But
Fern
anyway,
Creek,
it's not good on radar.
Fisherville, moving down to Taylorsville, so moving out of Mount Washington. If you are in the Mount Washington area, it's out of Shepherdsville. But if I put this into motion, this is just an hour loop. This is how quickly that's moved.
Yeah.
So.
It's moving fast.
That's why we have these big severe thunderstorm warning polygons.
They have to warn so far downstream because of how quickly these things are moving.
They're not screwing around with it.
And you'll also notice how portions of the Louisville Metro have already been chipped away from a severe thunderstorm warning.
Good. It needed to.
Yeah. So if you live along
downtown, we're done.
Yep. Downtown Louisville, 65 west.
We can now see out the camera.
Butyl, Okolona, Germantown, Audubon Park, Shively, Iroquois, PRP, Valley Station. This is all now east, northeast of you.
Yeah. Once again, I'm just telling you, I don't see a tornado threat, even though we have a tornado warning. Okay. This is a wind threat. But I mean, 80-mile-an-hour winds.
You need to take seriously.
I'd seek my shelter.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. So
that's why they started issuing the considerable, the destructive, because I mean the straight line wind can be just as damaging, if not worse, than a low end tornado. In fact, it would be worse than a low end tornado.
If we had more fuel, it would not be good.
Right. Yeah. So we had a lot of wind energy today. We had a lot of forcing. Obviously, we keep talking about this very massive, strong cold front that's diving through the country here. We were lacking a bit of the fuel, the high dew points that we normally have ahead of severe weather. But sometimes if you're lacking in one area, just strong enough of the other ingredients can still cause severe weather, and that's exactly what we're seeing tonight.
Exactly. Now, there is one little interesting area, and it's not under a tornado warning, and that is just on the north side of Bloomfield. There's see a little curly Q there, right north of Bloomfield.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
That one right there. That would be just one.
Taylorsville Lake.
Yeah, just kind of look at right there, just watching it. It's just a little interesting. And as it moves off to the northeast, just a little one. Everything's moving off to the east very fastly. They just put that new severe out. That covers folks, Mercer, Washington, Marion counties. That covers just the north side of Lebanon, Williamsburg, where they have the covered bridge, and Lawrenceburg, and up to Shelbyville. Frankfort, state capital. Enjoyed a day there yesterday. Anyway, the whole thing is moving off to the east. And like Mallory said, if you're west of 65, it's over. Go to bed.
Yep.
Go to bed. It's over.
Yes. Yeah. So we're just watching this leading edge that kind of snakes a little bit. It's not
That's
one
what they
fine
do.
line. It's Madison over to Frankfurt and then down.
Yeah.
So still waiting for that to kind of clear. And then once you're on the backside of that, you can go to bed. So
Look at these straight line winds in there. Shelbyville. So let's hit that right now. We want to do a little track. So if you're in Shelbyville, I'm telling you, the wind is a-coming. It is coming by the Cardinal Club there off 64 to Shelbyville. You're going to have winds 70, 75 miles an hour. My massage therapist is in Shelbyville. 70, 75 mile an hour winds. Not good.
yeah.
As this thing's moving off to the east, not good at all. At Taylorsville, you're getting a bunch of wind right now. Mount Washington, it's at the very end of it. You got another minute or two, and it's over. It's almost completely out of the metro. Linden a little bit, Barramede, Crestwood, Anchorage, and Middletown. The very end of it, it's almost out of here.
And it's something that I'm noticing. It's warned for, they've got a tornado warning on it. You're talking about a wind threat. I'm having trouble finding the rotation couplet.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But I'm not having trouble finding the wind.
Yeah,
right.
that's,
The
a
wind
lot
is
of it there.
definitely there.
you can draw that big area, the pink. Where you see pink, 70 plus, period, on your favorite weather app.
Yep. I'm refreshing LG&E.
How much did that
Still
go up?
5,000 without
They're
power.
always delayed, it seems like.
Hasn't really changed.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they go tornado past this one. I think this is going to be severes, big severes.
Yeah. So the one remaining tornado warning that we have is this particular one that's over Simpsonville, heading towards Shelbyville and Christiansburg until 12:30. But as we mentioned, this has really been primarily a straight line wind threat.
Yeah, we may be out of tornado warnings in the next few minutes.
And we're seeing a lot of these kind of big polygons in the orange due to the
Yeah.
severe thunderstorm warnings.
And the one they're going to have to issue is once that, if they don't issue again past Shelbyville, they'll have to cover that northeast part, all parts of Henry, the
Yeah.
rest of Franklin, and
This general area.
exactly, you got it.
Yeah.
And if you're in Maud or Booker, Kentucky, it might just be outside of the viewing area, but still, some pretty strong wind is on the way. It's that real small tornado warning that's still in effect for a little bit in portions of Nelson County and eastward. You got some really strong wind on the way. Not seeing any rotation really, but definitely some dangerous wind. Again, 70 miles per hour or more.
I just want to give an update on the tornado watch. As we were mentioning, west of I-65, the threat is ended for you. It's beginning to wrap up here in the Louisville metro area, and you'll notice the National Weather Service is staying on top of it and chipping away those counties. So this is what we typically see, even when you see that a tornado watch is in effect until whatever time, you'll always see things being chipped away,
Clearing
especially with the
counties.
line that we have.
Bardstown had a gust of 63, by the way. So we've seen 73 in Mount Washington, 71 in downtown 63 in Bardstown, and 68 in Morgantown.
So definitely severe wind gusts.
Yeah, and what are they going to do? I think.
And they just dropped a
think they're
new
gonna go
warning,
toward
severe
faster.
warning for Henry County, Shelby County.
That was that area that we were talking about.
Now Adair County and
that.
Greene County under a severe thunderstorm warning.
Which one?
Adair County and Greene County.
Southern-
Yeah, that's the
Southern
southern one.
edge.
They need to. Yeah. That's,
Oh, and portions of Taylor County.
yeah, I don't think they're. I don't believe there'll be a new tornado warning past Shelby County. I believe this will be a severe to clean up the last part of our area. Then it goes over to the Wilmington, Ohio office, the next office. They'll be issuing it. That's their
We're
fund.
still waiting for this
We like
sliver
to
to be
say, tag, you're it. It's the next office.
Yeah. So this is moving very quickly. Anywhere where you're seeing the orange or yellow color, that's a severe thunderstorm warning due to wind gusts up to 70, 75 miles per hour.
And what's happened on the southern tornado warning is I guarantee it's already out of the box. They can't expire it in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
They can't.
Oh, that's good to know.
Even though you want to, you're pleading, please go away, but it won't until the software does.
Okay.
So that thing's dead.
Yeah, that's already past Bardstown for those who are in
Trust me.
Bardstown that are staying up.
It's a terrible feeling.
Remind me to ask you why after we're
There's a
done
lot of
here.
software things I don't understand. So the Shelbyville one, folks in Shelbyville, I'm telling you, I love Shelbyville. 70 mile an hour winds. It's coming in right now. have a plan of action. Get to your safe shelter.
It's a widespread area too. This isn't just
There's
a
that
little
pink.
line.
Look at that pink area.
A little line of strong wind. It's a pretty large area.
Yeah, I know they have a tornado warning, but I'm planning 80-mile-an-hour straight line winds, and that's not good.
Be in your safe space if you're in Shelbyville right now.
Yeah. Otherwise, Louisville.
And temperature in Louisville, how much has it dropped in the last few minutes? I bet you see a nasty
I don't know
plunge.
if I have an update.
Can you pull that up, Austin?
60. That was the latest.
Yeah, that's 12 degrees in a span of.
Yeah, but we are now in the clear here in Louisville. So if you're in the Louisville area watching us, go to bed.
Doug Prophet, if you're watching, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over, Doug.
We just have some lingering rain.
You can let go.
Some gusty winds and some cooler air that's going to move in behind. What we're paying attention to is this leading edge here that you're seeing from Madison. It'll be moving into Franklin County here soon, Frankfort, and then down into Greene and Taylor counties. And so if you are really to the west of this, you are in the clear.
And we got a 40, just to update on temperatures, 43 degrees in Paoli, 45 in Jasper, 54 Palmyra, 60 in Louisville. So yeah, we're cooling down fast. We knew that was coming.
So the terminal Doppler is showing 74 miles an hour right now in Shelbyville on the ground. 74 miles an hour. Please have a plan of action, Shelbyville. This is serious stuff.
Honestly, it might have been a good call going tornado warning, just so people heed the warning.
Absolutely.
Go in your safe place.
Absolutely.
Because
it's just one of those. It's one of those things that this is the safer option, even if it's not technically accurate.
And they
to
did.
The definition.
There's the rest of it. It's covered. Basically our whole viewing, almost our whole viewing area is covered.
Yeah.
Maybe just not the far southeast, but 70-mile-an-hour winds, basically east of 65. The tornado warning, I think Shelbyville, you can expect 70 to 80-mile winds. There are going to be power outages. Folks there, please have a plan of action. That's also heading towards our state capital and Frankfort, Eminence, Newcastle, Henry County, Campbellsburg, all in that area. Very strong winds. Lawrenceburg, it's coming your way. Willisburg, Springfield, the county seat, all those counties to the east. It's moving your way.
Yes, yes. So we're waiting for this leading edge to continue. And you'll notice they keep issuing downstream severe thunderstorm warnings to give people a heads up that, hey, there are some damaging winds headed your direction. And I mean, this has raced very quickly through our viewing area.
Yeah, and based on them putting the severe already out ahead of time, they're going to drop that warning.
Right.
That warning's going to go in 4 to 5 minutes, and there will be no tornado warnings left.
Yep.
And there'll be great rejoicing.
Yep. So very quick hitting system here. As we mentioned, still expecting, you know, when the sun comes up tomorrow, we'll see more damage reports, whether they be tree reports or, you know, roof damage or what have you.
Hopefully not too much, but we expect at least.
You get 70 to 80-mile-an-hour winds, you have damage.
Yeah. You're going to have some
roofs,
cleanup to do.
carports, service station canopies, things of that magnitude.
Yeah. So just waiting for these severe thunderstorm warnings to clear.
They're both supposed to expire at 12:30, right?
Yes.
What? Oh, they both?
I think so. I think they should.
I think that tour's gone. I think they're both gone. We are no longer tornadoes. No warnings. Tornado, only severes.
That's great.
Just waiting for our system to catch up.
Yeah, so the one I really want to hit is the folks in that those two big severes off on the east side. So if you are Waddy, Patonia, Frankfort, Stamping Grounds, Lawrenceburg, 70 to 75-mile-an-hour winds is coming very soon to you.
So this is what we're talking about them extending these severe thunderstorm warnings off to the east and northeast as these very strong winds continue to push off to the east and northeast as well.
No tornado warnings.
No tornado warnings, which is what we like to see. So for the television side of things, let's start to wrap things up here. We'll kind of give you an overview of what we're looking at really for the next half hour. I mean, this is a quick moving system, but as we've been mentioning, we've been watching the leading edge of these storms from Madison down to Shelbyville, Springfield, and down just east of Mumfordville as well, heading into Greene and Taylor counties as well. So these are now all severe warned at this time. So what we're looking at here, straight line wind threat, as we mentioned, as John mentioned, some of these severe thunderstorm warnings do remain in effect, I would imagine, until about 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:15 off to the north. So these will continue to move quickly, 50, 55 miles per hour in and out. And as that continues to do so, obviously the watch will continue to be chipped away here. So as we mentioned, we're just watching this leading edge of storms that stretches from, Madison, Bedford, LaGrange, Shelbyville. This will be moving out of portions of our viewing area soon, Springfield, and heading toward Greensburg, Campbellsville, and Columbia.
Yep.
But good news, as mentioned, no more active tornado warnings.
Yep.
Dealing with some severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yep.
If you remain in one, still stay away from windows. Some of these storms are carrying a very strong wind threat, so we do want you to be safe. But we are going to wrap up things here, at least on the TV side. Appreciate you watching. I hope everybody can go to bed safely, obviously get a good night's rest now that the severe weather threat is pushing off to our east. So once again, meteorologist Mallory Schnell here, joined by meteorologist Austin Evans and John Gordon. We just have a few lingering severe thunderstorm warnings, and we appreciate you watching us this evening. Hi there, this is Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell. We do have a new tornado warning in place for portions of Adair County. You'll notice this polygon here that's moving from southwest to northeast. That's the movement of the storm here heading over Columbia. So if you are in the Columbia area in Adair County, we do want you to be in this safe place. We do have this tornado warning in effect until 12:45 Central Time. So I do think it's going to get out of Adair County before that point, but we've been watching the lines of thunderstorms this evening for any kind of notches and nubs, and the National Weather Service did see enough rotation on radar to go ahead and issue a tornado warning for that particular area. So this is the far southeastern corner of our Kentuckiana viewing area. You'll notice most of us out of the woods in terms of the severe threat. Anytime you're seeing some of the leading edges of these storm lines here, that's where the greatest wind threat, the greatest tornado threat is currently located, moving more so into the Lexington area. But we have one problem storm here down to the south. You'll notice quickly moving toward the east-northeast here over Adair County. So if you are in the Columbia area, you are under a tornado warning. The bigger polygon that you're seeing on either side of that is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for just the next few minutes here. So we have gotten some reports tonight of wind gusts up to 70, 75 miles per hour here. And note that winds, even if they're straight lined, if they're that strong, they can do just as much damage as a tornado warning. But once again, if you're in the Louisville metro area, you're out of the woods in terms of the severe threat. In fact, the National Weather Service continues to chip away a lot of the counties here that were originally under the tornado watch until 3 o'clock in the morning or so. And as this continues to push eastward, it is expected to weaken throughout the overnight hours. And there's just a severe thunderstorm watch really far east of that into eastern Kentucky. So you'll notice here the active warnings that we have in place. Most of this system has moved out of the Kentuckiana viewing area. What we're looking at here is just the far southeastern edge. So all of this has pushed east of Frankfort, east of Newcastle. What we're looking at here and what we're focusing in on is that one tornado warning. I'm going to step off screen so we can take a better look at that particular storm. So this is in effect until 12:45 Central Time, and this does include Columbia. So Columbia, I'm trying to get more town names here. Let's see, Craycraft, Christine included. You might be hearing the sirens going off in Adair County tonight. This is due to this tornado warning that was issued by the National Weather Service for about the next half hour here. It's really tricky with these kind of setups to find the areas of rotation. See if I can find anything on velocity here. Maybe a little bit right around Columbia. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts down there. So you have strong enough wind gusts. We're really lacking some of the instability or the fuel that we typically have when we have these kind of severe weather events. But we have seen damage elsewhere throughout the Kentuckiana viewing area due to these strong storms that we've had so far tonight. So we want to make sure that you are in your safe place tonight. Let's see how quickly this is moving. I'm going to look at a little bit more information on this particular storm. So this says severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage located 9 miles southwest of Columbia, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So other areas impacted by this storm, once again, it's pretty much right over Columbia right now. I guess this is their particular area of circulation that they're watching for. So Columbia, I need you in your safe place. The good news about these storms is they are moving very quickly. So they'll be in and out very quickly, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So in fact, I can put a track on here and we can see how quickly it moves out. Pretty much right over Columbia right now. Christine at 12:20, Ella at 12:25. Barnett Springs at 12:32. These are Central Time. Dunville at 1:34 Eastern Time. And it will continue off to the northeast. By that point, it'll be out of the area. I'm sure this will be allowed to expire before 12:45 because it is moving so quickly. But once again, we do have a tornado warning in effect for portions of Adair County, including Columbia, until 12:45 Central Time tonight due to this broad area of rotation we're seeing on the radar there right over Columbia. So if you're hearing the sirens, if you're getting the alerts and you're tuning in to find out the information, this is what we're looking at here. I'm going to see if the National Weather Service has anything additional. Doesn't look like it for this particular storm.
Nothing on this storm, but we do have a report out of Fort Knox, multiple trees down, some took down power lines, trees down on cars, no injuries reported.
Yeah, so we're getting in damage reports elsewhere in Kentuckiana so far this evening due to the severe thunderstorm warnings and even the few tornado warnings that we had in effect earlier. And of course, we're expecting more of that. So if for some reason you have to be out on the roads tonight, note that we could have trees down. We could even have power lines down. Last I checked from LG&E, there were almost 10,000 people without power. But the one particular storm that we're still watching is in Adair County. And this is the far southeastern corner of our Kentuckiana viewing area. You can see that area of circulation that they're trying to highlight right around Columbia. And regardless of circulation, a lot of these storms have packed a punch with 70, 75 mile per hour wind gusts. So note that this particular warning is in effect until 12:45. I put the tracker on it here because the storm is moving toward the northeast around 50 miles per hour. So pretty much right over Columbia. Christine, it'll be there at 12:20 Central Time. Ella, 12:25, Barnett Springs at 12:32, and so on that you're seeing at that point. So regardless, we do have strong storms in the area. I'm going to step off so you can see the big picture view of the storm system that we've been tracking tonight. So this has all been due to a very strong cold front that is cutting through the area. So this is pretty much the last really storm that we're looking at tonight for our particular viewing area due to this all pushing off to the east. Oh, my radar is acting kind of funny. Sorry about that, guys. But we've had the strongest storms push off to the east. Oh, it's because the Fort Campbell radar is out. That's why. So once this pushes off to the east, you'll notice the severe warnings that are in place around Lexington and east of Newcastle. Anytime you're seeing those reds, this is where the gustiest winds are. So once this clears the area, we are done for the night. We just have this far southeastern edge that we're keeping an eye on. And once again, a little bit delayed in clearing these warnings, but Louisville metro area, if for some reason you're still up and watching, the severe threat has passed you by for quite a while. Along and west of I-65 is clear from the threat as well. I'm going to see if there's any new information. Doesn't look like it in the National Weather Service chat.
No, nothing new in chat.
We do have just a lot of reports down from earlier today. Tree down on Blossom Road in Hillview. We had damage to a barn earlier. We had a semi that was flipped over on I-265 in Clark County, Indiana earlier. That was sent in. We just got a report in that there are 8,000 people without power. So that's going to continue to be an issue as this storm marches east. Thankfully, the strongest winds are quickly moving out of here. But those of you all who have lost power tonight, that will be something that, may not be fixed until the morning. And by that point, temperatures will really, really drop. So what we're looking at here, 8,251 people without power right now, according to LG&E. So they're going to allow, it looks like they allowed part of this warning to expire, and they're going to continue to trim it upstream. That's why it says 1 until 12/17. Off to the northeast, that's where we're still seeing a warning until 12:45 Central Time. So once again, if you're just now tuning in, we are down in Adair County in Kentucky. We're still seeing showers and storms elsewhere across the Kentuckiana viewing area. But this is the main storm that we're watching for any kind of tornadic potential, any kind of circulation potential, and of course the strongest winds as well. So these storms are moving very quickly. They're moving 50 miles per hour or so. So this will not be over one area all too long. It does look like they've trimmed back the southwest edge of this, and they'll continue this warning off to the northeast for the next half hour or so. But once again, big picture view. The severe weather is now closing in on the I-75 corridor in Lexington. When we get these lines, they're not always straight north to south. And that's what we're seeing here. So it's kind of kinking out near Cincinnati, Lexington, and then down near Columbia, where we have the southern edge of this. But all of this is marching east, slightly northeast. And what's filling in behind, you might still have some lightning flashes where you are, but this is not severe on the backside. So tornado watch that was in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning has been allowed to be chipped away from west to east as your threat ends, as that leading edge. And the National Weather Service is the one that has to go in and clear these. Obviously, they've been very busy analyzing radar and taking storm reports tonight. So there can be a bit of a lag. But I'd say what we're looking at is more so basically just Adair County at this point, because that threat is all marching off to the east. In terms of active warnings, there aren't many left on the northern edge of this system. There's one for Lexington, severe thunderstorm warning, and then the one tornado warning that we're still watching. That's around Columbia and off to the northeast. Tornado warning in place for that one particular cell due to radar indicated rotation. So tornado warnings can be issued due to radar indicated rotation that you see on velocity, or due to a storm spotter actually seeing the tornado. Usually in these cases, it's radar indicated. We don't have any ground proof that it's actually reaching the ground, but it's important that you still take it very seriously when we do have these tornado warnings in place. The issue between a watch and a warning means take action. A watch means, hey, be on the lookout for these stronger storms that we have this evening. So once again in place, we have a lot of rain that's still filling in on the backside of the leading edge. But if you are west of this leading edge, you are in the clear. We just have this one particular tornado warning in effect for portions of Adair County. Anytime you see some of these nudges, these knobs, where basically you have winds that are coming in on the backside, pushing it out and trying to rotate it just a tad, that's what they're latching onto there with the tornado warning that's in place for portions of Adair County. If we do take a look at velocity here, looks like that's just what they're paying attention to there. So you'll notice this is now east of Columbia, where you have kind of the reds and greens on top of each other. It's trying. It's not anything super strong that I can tell, but at the very least, you do have some gusty winds with that. I do believe they allowed, the previous, you'll notice there's a severe thunderstorm warning on the south side of that. This is warned for 70 mile per hour wind gust. So that's the thing. A lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings that we've been seeing tonight have been issued for the step above at least the base severe thunderstorm warning. So the base severe thunderstorm warning, 58 mile per hour wind gust. but a lot of the ones tonight. So on the southern edge of Adair County, even though you're not included in this tornado warning, you're still warned for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So things are going to get noisy for you. You're likely hearing the gusty winds, the heavy rainfall, and potentially a lot of lightning in your area, whereas we do have that tornado warning in effect just on the north side of that until 12:45 Central Time. So we're just going to stay on air until that does wrap up. We do have a few weather cameras. Unfortunately, they're not in the area, but we can take a live look outside because I do believe we're still getting some rain in the Louisville metro area. For anybody tuning in wondering if we have any alerts in Louisville, we do not. This is how things look in the Louisville metro. We just have some steady rain at this point. There is an accident that we're just getting into our Teams chat. Does look like the Watterson West ramp to Breckenridge Lane in Jefferson County, right lane and right shoulder is blocked. So even though we are not seeing severe weather, it's still quite wet out there. There might be damage in terms of trees and power lines. So make sure if you have to be out late tonight or early tomorrow morning while it's still dark, that you do exercise caution. Otherwise, we're just watching for this one storm to clear Adair County and is moving quickly. But you'll notice trying to get some of those little nubs. And anytime you see, it's difficult when you have lines like this. So it's not quite the supercell look that you might see in a textbook. It's more of inflow notches and nubs where you're trying to get a little bit of rotation, but doesn't look like anything all too tight down there. And this will be clear of the county, I'd say within the next 15 minutes or so. So it's moving along pretty quickly. It's now east-northeast of Columbia. So if you have friends or family in Dunville, looks like it's just to the north of Russell Springs. In fact, I can put the warnings on here. Let's actually, there we go. So we'll see if they continue to expand it, but by that point, it's moving out of Adair County. So this is the last storm of this particular system that we're watching here. Powerful storm system. We have a strong cold front that's rolling through the region here. So even though today wasn't a day where we had a lot of instability, we didn't have a ton of moisture to work with actually. We still had enough forcing and enough, today was just so windy in general. We had power outages before the storms even began. So over 10,000 without power is what we just heard. So power outages will continue tonight and into tomorrow morning. So be aware of that. You're seeing that on the right side of your screen right now. And of course, that's just pretty much in the LG&E Louisville metro area there. So power outage is an issue, maybe some tree damage. And I'm sure we will continue to get reports in once we have daylight tomorrow morning. So expect more from that from WHAS as we track how things evolve. But big picture view, once again, this is our final storm here. We're just watching in Adair County, place for a little bit longer as we get these high wind gusts out of here. You'll also notice there's a tornado warning storm. This is down to the south, closer to the Tennessee border. So this won't impact our particular viewing area. But you'll notice downstream they went with just a big severe thunderstorm warning. So we've been seeing that a lot tonight where they're watching particular small areas of potential rotation, and then in general downstream they're issuing more kind of elongated severe thunderstorm warnings. So I'm checking, we have a chat with the National Weather Service. So I'm going to see if there's any information there. Adair County still looks better for a tour with a line oriented for shear and dew points near 60. So it does look like they may continue that. Oh, that was for Clinton and Cumberland. So what they do have down south, including in Adair County, is a little bit more of that fuel that I was talking about. So we were missing out on some of the higher dew points and some of the higher temperatures today. some of the higher moisture that can lead to instability. But you'll notice on our dew point map, that very thin line of green that I'm sure is continuing to track eastward with time. So bringing just enough maybe moisture or instability to allow for some stronger storms. So if you're watching for Adair County, still waiting for that storm to clear your area, and then the WHAS-11 viewing area will be clear from this severe threat. But we have this one tornado warning still in place, marching toward the northeast around 50 miles per hour. So I can put this in a cone here. We can take the tracker and show you, it'll be in Ella in just a few minutes, Eunice in just a few minutes, Dunville 1:36. That is your estimation time there for arrival with this particular storm. Evans Ford 1:38, Liberty 1:45, Middleburg at 1:53 Eastern. So that's not to say that they'll continue with a tornado warning downstream with this. It may just be a severe thunderstorm warning, but know at the very least you are expected to have some gusty winds and heavy rainfall with this storm that's continuing to track northeast out of the Kentuckiana viewing area, and really as this entire system continues to track eastward throughout Kentucky this evening. So we always want people to stay safe, especially when we have these storms overnight. It can be difficult to see. A lot of people can be sleeping. It can be an abrupt, you might be, awoken from the sound of the sirens or your weather radio. But this is the one storm that we're still watching that will be exiting Adair County here, likely within the next 10 minutes or so. So just hang with us. We stay on air as long as the tornado warning has been issued. Beyond that, you'll notice just a stretch of severe thunderstorm warnings down to our south. Also moving into Lexington, Cincinnati, just plain old thunderstorms there. I do want to give everybody a heads up of what's to come tomorrow as this clears. Temperatures are going to drop very quickly, and we're going to be going from storms to snow showers. We'll have spotty snow showers in the area, temperatures dropping into the 30s, 20s with some bursts of snowfall. So expect a return to winter tomorrow. Some much worse, obviously, wind chills and potentially drops in visibility as well throughout the day tomorrow. So what we're looking at here, I keep getting notifications that parts of the tornado watch are dropped. So waiting for that to continue onward here onto our graphic.
Yeah, we're also in NWS chat. We're waiting for more thoughts on the tornado warning for Adair County. Someone else asking about it. So once we get that information, hopefully we can end our coverage with the information that they give us. But from what I was seeing on the John Gordon machine over here, there's been some rotation, not a significant amount of rotation, just enough to justify the warning to be issued. And if you wanted to take the ROI computer, just real quick, I can show. We're just kind of resetting here. We just got a new scan in too. So things are kind of starting to broaden out. Rotation isn't nearly as significant as it once was, and we're still waiting on.
It looks like they're going to go severe downstream because they went ahead and you'll notice they issued it up near Waynesburg and Dunville, those areas that we were watching.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm assuming they'll probably do.
I just wonder if they will cancel it now before they can't cancel it. Because apparently we've now learned that once you get within 5 minutes of an expiration, they can't cancel it. So if they're going to cancel it, it has to be pretty much now or within the next 5 minutes.
Right.
So
it's about to move out of the county box anyway. So,
yeah.
We'll keep an eye on this, but the idea is the severe weather threat in general is ending. All of this activity will continue to move this direction. Everything's kind of moving east, slightly northeast. So moving out of the Kentuckiana viewing area And what we have left over, we're still getting lightning strikes here locally. We're still getting, you'll notice the lightning strikes on our map here. So you might be hearing thunder and lightning. It might still even be a bit breezy where you live because we have the cold front moving in. But in terms of the severe risk, that is continuing to decrease. And
it'll be windy all day tomorrow anyway.
Yes, yeah. We're going to stay windy for a while. But this is what we kept talking about, how counties get chipped away. All we have left is Adair County in our particular viewing area, up near Lexington, continuing as well. But just watching that one particular storm that's in Adair County. And once that moves out of here, we will be clear for the night. So.
NWS is typing. I'm willing to bet it's about the tornado warning storm right now. So hopefully they come with some good news. And they're saying it looks like it might be the beginnings of a line break in that area. There's still a couplet within the range folded area. It'll be out of Adair County in about 5 minutes. So they're pretty much saying that it's almost over.
It's wrapping up.
It's approaching over. Unfortunately, I've got bad data, so I got no couplet at all. I can't quite look at it. That purple like gap showing up.
Right.
That's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
Right over the couplet, or what it would be.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's something that's trying to rotate. Typically, when we get these kind of setups that are straight line wind damage with embedded tornadoes, the tornadoes that we see, not always, but a lot of the time, are brief and low wind. But as we mentioned, we've been getting reports in about power outages, about trees down. There was damage to a barn earlier, I believe. We also mentioned this in our earlier coverage that even if you're not under a tornado warning, as we saw tonight, you can still have a lot of damage with some of these higher end severe thunderstorm warnings when we have this kind of a setup. So just waiting for this storm to clear Adair County, and we will be wrapping up in terms of severe weather coverage for tonight. But this in general is heading toward Dunnville, out of our area. Let's see if I put a track on it. In general, this has been moving about 50 miles per hour, I think.
These have been some fast-moving storms. That's what a strong cold front does. Pushes them through real quick.
Very quickly. So, yeah, we were mentioning earlier how that's always good and bad because it means National Weather Service has to make quick calls about, whether or not to issue severe or tornado warnings with these storms moving so quickly, because if they do wrap up, they can drop a tornado quickly. But also it means that they're in and out very quickly. So we did get a report in from Meade County, power lines across the roadway, damage to multiple barns. So this is not obviously due to this storm. This is something earlier in the day. But regardless of tornado or severe thunderstorm warning, we are still seeing damage reports being funneled in from across the area.
We'll see an onslaught of damage reports show up tomorrow morning once daybreak happens. Once we get more eyeballs on what happened tonight, we'll get a whole lot of damage reports. We'll be talking about it probably all day tomorrow. WHS 11 will be.
Yeah, so this is what I just put on. Let's see, even 3-hour storm reports maybe. You'll notice all these reports coming in. So I can actually look at a few of these while we're waiting for that tornado warning to expire.
We got 10 minutes left on it, I believe. It expires at 45.
So those are just thunderstorm wind gusts, 63 miles per hour earlier in Bardstown, 61 mile per hour gust in Claremont earlier. Large tree on house. Power lines. Yeah, so we're seeing that in Meade County. And then also Litchfield, multiple trees. So seeing a lot of tree damage. Power lines down, that was in Jeffersonville. Tree down blocking Keisler Road in Greenville. So these are all from the storms earlier today. You may be waking up to additional damage tomorrow. Might need to clean some trees from your yard, depending on how bad things got. And some folks may be out of power. Thank you. Yeah, over 8,000 people without power in the area. So that's going to be something that we continue to monitor until the power does get restored. And with a setup like this, it's also very important for that because we have crashing temperatures overnight. So tomorrow for much of the day, we are going to be in the 20s and 30s. In fact, if I take a look at how temperatures look right now, let's pull that up. So we're at 58 in Louisville, but you'll notice 30s are just off to our west. So we do have much colder air that's coming in. That will give us the potential for some scattered snow showers tomorrow, some lowered visibility because winds will still be whipping around. So we're going to be going from one extreme really to another throughout the next 12 hours here. So still watching. You'll notice, you can even tell by just looking at radar how these storms down here are packing a bit more of a punch. They're down to the south, so in general they have usually more fuel to work with, a bit more warmth and instability and moisture as well, which is why I guess that southern edge was able to tap into a little bit of rotation there for the tornado warning. But that is really starting to move out of Adair County. So we'll wait until it's official to hop off here, but know that any kind of potential circulation is moving out of Adair County right now.
And from here, we're not expecting any more.
Correct.
This is the end of the line. This is the last of the storms. And this kind of came out of nowhere a little bit, but we're just waiting for it to come to an end now. Should end at 12:45 Central, if you're watching there, or 1:45 Eastern time.
So all that's filling in behind. We still are getting some lightning strikes in the Louisville metro area, some moderate rainfall. None of that is severe. We're just watching that far southeastern edge of the line. Let's take a look at wind gust. It's still going to be gusting, you'll notice. We're still seeing, 20, 30 mile per hour wind gusts in some spots out ahead of the leading line. But where some of those strongest gusts are pushing off to the east, you'll notice the kind of yellows around the I-75 corridor. That is where you're seeing the gustiest winds move. So,
and they pulled it. They pulled it down.
Yes, we did get
Hopefully it'll show up there.
We got a report earlier I saw as well. I believe it is on I-265 in Clark County. We have a video. This is of a semi Cooper's Lane. So, report of a semi I-265. Was it overturned in the area? Yes. So avoid that area if you can. It's still quite wet out there, even though we're not dealing with the severe weather. I'm assuming this was probably earlier when the winds were higher, and when you get high-profile vehicles and 70 mile per hour wind gusts,
they can blow right over.
Not a good combination.
Nope.
No, they can tip right on over. So you can get that even without thunderstorms, if there's high enough winds.
Oh yeah, it happened a couple days ago in Ohio.
It did, yes. So that's what we're seeing once again. I-265 in Clark County, an overturned semi in that area. So at this point, guys, we're just with you waiting for the release of this tornado warning. We like to wait until we get the all clear. But for all intents and purposes, that storm is now east of Adair. All right, looks like they're about to cancel.
It's really weird. It's dropped off my computer as a warning, but only on one of the apps. I'm kind of confused about that, but that's on me. It's still technically warning. It's just the rotation is so high up off the ground, it's been canceled. Okay.
All right.
They just said it's canceled in the chat. Once this computer hits 140, I bet it will be.
Yeah, the problem is something you all don't know behind the scenes. My computer runs about 2 minutes slower than the actual time. So it takes about an extra minute or so for this to clear. But as we wrap up, just want to show you the big picture view. That was the last storm that we were looking at in terms of severe potential in our area. You'll notice all of this is pushing off to the east with it. We're still going to have rain overnight, maybe some thunder. You might be hearing some breezy conditions from time to time, but our severe weather threat is ending. And soon, I will assume they will drop Adair County from the watch. But every other county has been released from the tornado watch that was originally in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning. And our storm, we just got word from the National Weather Service that they allowed that to expire, correct? The Adair County storm?
Yeah, they outright canceled it.
All right.
Or at least that's what they said in the chat, just waiting for, you know, the system to actually update.
Right. But I think for all intents and purposes, we know that that storm is now off to our east. So the threat is over for Adair County. The threat is over for the Louisville metro area, for Kentuckiana as well. May still scroll at the bottom of the screen, the crawl for a few more minutes until this polygon is eventually completely gone from the area. That's also the only county, Adair County, that's still included in the tornado watch. And now all that we have left is rain, some gusty winds, some lightning at times. But we are going to wrap up this cut-in. Thank you for joining us. Hope everybody has stayed safe tonight. And we will see you on Good Morning Kentuckiana starting at 5 a.m.